Okay, have you ever stopped to think about how two modern, wealthy countries can end up with completely different health realities? We're about to dive into one of the biggest public health puzzles out there. How has Japan managed to sidestep the obesity crisis that's hit so much of the world, especially places like the United States?
I mean, just look at these numbers. They're absolutely staggering. In the US, the obesity rate is now over 40%. But in Japan, it's just 4.5%. That isn't just a small gap. That is a massive chasm.
Yeah, you heard that right. America's obesity rate is nearly 10 times higher than Japan's. So what in the world is going on here? Is there some kind of secret diet? Some magic bullet? Well, that's exactly what we're going to investigate.
So, here's our game plan. We'll start by setting the scene, then we're going to debunk some of the most common myths you hear. After that, we'll dig into three huge areas: the food you can get quickly, the culture around eating, and what kids learn in school. Then we'll pull it all together to see the big picture.
The rise of obesity in America has just been off the charts. But what's really fascinating is how the cultural baseline itself is different. You know, what's considered an average body size in the United States might actually be seen as overweight in Japan. It's a fundamental difference.
All right, so when people try to solve this puzzle, a few usual suspects always pop up. You hear things like green tea or maybe some special lifestyle habit. But do these popular theories actually hold any water? Let's find out.
First up, exercise. I mean, it seems logical, right? People in Japan must just be fitness fanatics, constantly hitting the gym to stay so slim. And nope, not even close. In fact, it's the exact opposite. Over a fifth of all Americans have a gym membership. In Japan, it's barely over 3%. So, whatever the secret is, it is definitely not hiding in a gym. Okay, so if it's not the gym, what about other health habits? Smoking, maybe? You'd think a healthier population would smoke less, so that must be it, right? And this one is a real shocker. The smoking rate among men in Japan is actually almost double the rate in the US. So yeah, we can toss that theory right out the window too. The answer is clearly a lot more complicated than that. So if it's not one single thing, what is it? Well, it all comes down to this one crucial idea: the food environment. This is the key to the whole puzzle. It's everything around you: the stores, the culture, the advertising that shapes and nudges your food choices every single day, often without you even realizing it.
So let's start digging into that food environment. And the first piece of evidence is what happens when you're busy, you're on the go, and you just need to grab a quick bite. This is where the two countries start to look like they're on different planets.
Think about it. You're in a rush in America. You pop into a gas station or a convenience store. What do you see? You know the drill. It's a wall of chips, candy, processed snacks, and maybe some greasy hot dogs that have been rolling under a heat lamp for hours. Finding something genuinely healthy is a real mission.
But then you go to a Japanese convenience store, a kombini, and it is a completely different world. You can easily grab a full, balanced meal like roasted fish, a fresh salad, steamed chicken, or onigiri, those little rice balls. The takeaway here is huge. In Japan, quick and easy doesn't automatically mean junk.
All right, next up, we have to talk about the culture of eating itself, because it goes way deeper than just what's on the shelves. It's about how people approach food in the first place, from what they think tastes good, to how much they eat, to a really powerful idea about not wasting anything.
And this right here tells a huge part of the story: sugar. The average American eats almost double the amount of sugar as the average person in Japan. It's not about some superhuman willpower. The Japanese palate is just different. They're used to things like yogurt and even desserts being much less sweet.
Okay, this comparison is just wild, and it perfectly illustrates the difference in portion sizes. An American small soda is actually bigger than a Japanese large. Let that sink in for a second. The American large is almost twice the size. That difference in what we consider a normal serving is a massive, massive factor. And this idea of different default choices is everywhere. Take vending machines. They're on practically every corner in Japan. But look what's inside. The overwhelming majority of the options are things like unsweetened tea, water, and black coffee. Sugary soda is just a tiny slice of the pie, not the main event.
And then there's this really powerful cultural principle called motenai. It's hard to translate perfectly, but it's this deep feeling of regret about waste. It applies to time, to resources, but it is especially strong when it comes to food. The idea of throwing away food is just deeply wrong.
And this isn't just a casual idea. It's drilled into you from childhood. This quote from our source material is intense, but it really drives the point home. Kids are taught that you don't waste food because it represents the lives of the plants and animals you're eating. So leaving food on your plate isn't just wasteful, it's considered bad manners.
So you might be wondering, where do all these habits and preferences come from? Well, a huge piece of the puzzle starts really young, specifically in the school lunchroom. It's designed to build a healthy foundation for life.
The school lunch program in Japan is on another level. Every single meal is planned by a professional nutritionist. It's cooked from scratch, right there in the school, using whole foods. But maybe the most important part, nutrition is actually taught as part of the curriculum. Kids learn what a balanced meal is by eating one every single day.
Okay, so let's pull all of these threads together. We've busted the common myths, we've looked at convenience stores, cultural norms, and school cafeterias, and a really clear picture starts to form. It's not about one magic secret.
And this is it. This is the big takeaway. The reason for Japan's incredible health stats isn't because people there just have more willpower. It's because their entire food environment is structured to make the healthy choice the easy, convenient, and normal choice. Health is the default setting.
And that brings us to the final, crucial question, one that turns the lens back on all of us. When you're busy, or tired, or just looking for a snack, what are the easiest options around you? What are the default choices that your environment creates for you? Because understanding that, well, that's the first step to changing anything.